So Stefon Diggs spoke to the media for the first time since the viral video, which we did multiple Maller monologues on. It was published, and we talked about it a couple times. So there were some rumors that Diggs was going to get let go and all this stuff. So if you didn't see the original video, I don't know how even Blind Scott saw it, and he's blind. So the Patriot receiver seen talking to multiple women, different ladies there, handing them a small bag containing some kind of pink substance. But what was it? Who knows? So anyway, Diggs addressed the media, and they asked him, the assembled Patriot media contingent asked Diggs a series of questions about the trip in Miami and the video and the pink powder. Here's a little taste of how Stefon Diggs handled that. Let's go to the audio tape. Take a listen.
I want to be as candid with you guys as possible. I kind of like have a thing where talk about my personal life with people I don't know personally. I'm pretty sure everybody here, men and women, are great people, but you know what I'm saying, I kind of keep my personal life personal. I had a conversation with Drapes, obviously. I'm going to echo everything that he said. He told me, hoping everybody making good decisions, you know what I'm saying. And I had a conversation with people in the building as well, so, everything else, particulars is all internal.
It's all internal. All right, so you heard, and he just kept repeating, like, yeah, it's personal. I don't talk about my personal life over and over again. So let us discuss Patriots wide receiver Stefon Diggs refusing to answer questions about the viral boat video. He kept saying, it's my personal life. I don't talk about that. How does that one hit you? So I've got Quagmire, Cheesecake Factory, and New York Times bestseller. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to give you an iron hand is what we're going to give you. So, and then we'll make some baba ganoush after that with the iron hand. We'll give you a little baba ganoush. So to lead off here, it hits me like a cartoon. Like I totally get it. I think every man, woman, and child, knows that he was not going to answer these questions, right? He's not going to answer these questions because he's going to incriminate himself, and if there's something that is illegal or somebody could sue, he's a public figure, and there's some problems. So you knew that. And I flash back to the wisdom from the Family Guy, to quote the legendary Quagmire from Family Guy there, my lawyer has advised me not to answer that question. That's essentially what Stefon Diggs did, but he just said, I'm not going to talk about my personal life, and that was the way he got out of it. It is hilarious, though. Is it not hilarious that Stefon Diggs chose to pull the old, I keep my personal life personal card from the bottom of the deck? Of all the people, because when you think of a conservative, buttoned-up professional athlete, God-fearing, Bible-toting professional athlete, you think of Stefon Diggs, right? I mean, it is really out of character for a guy like Stefon Diggs to be on a party boat, a mega yacht in Miami, surrounded by cameras and your shirt off, adult beverage in hand. God knows what was in the pink bag. I'm sure it was just rock candy, not cocaine. I'm sure it was just rock candy, not a bag of drugs or whatever. Dozens of influencers, bikini models, and professional women, if you know what I mean, right there. So it sounds like someone who wants privacy. That, to me, I don't know about you, but that sounds like someone that is very private, does not want his personal business to be talked about. And I think we should all respect Stefon Diggs and his personal privacy. I think we should. Unless that's not a personal life, that is a public broadcast that was put out on social media. They call it social media. Yeah. It was like he was promoting some upcoming docuseries and he was handing out party favors. It was wild. All right, now furthermore, so what is the mindset of Stefon Diggs? So his mindset, it's like going to the Cheesecake Factory and, they have those baskets of bread. They got the wheat, they got the white bread. And he's like, I want the basket of bread and I want my bread buttered, the basket of bread buttered on both sides. Stefon Diggs, he wants to have it both ways, which I get. It's the modern way of the world. I want everything. I'm not a victim. I can. It's like these people going around rioting who are just going there to get iPhones, and people defend them and say, the insurance will cover it. Like no one has to pay for that. It's that mindset that we have today. But Stefon Diggs, he's living like the Instagram life, and he goes viral every offseason, sometimes during the season. And then, like this time, this was his counsel telling him to say this, but we're supposed to think he's like Kawhi Leonard. He's a very private person, and that's it. That's the way it is. But the personal life thing, he was the one making it a spectacle. None of us would have known about that if he hadn't put it out there. That it hadn't been put out by the people he was with on the boat. Hello. And he's been a magnet. Stefon Diggs has been a magnet for the drama, right? It shattered him in Minnesota, and it followed him to Buffalo. And then we had that guy that used to call a show, quit the show, Andy the comic book guy, the Bills fan, who used to rant and rave and go, oh, my God, this is, you're just making up these stories about Stefon Diggs. He could not stand Josh Allen, and Josh Allen couldn't stand him. At the end, that was the Buffalo experience. Went to Houston, wasn't there long enough for anything major to happen, but he got hurt, and it's not like he lit the world on fire with the Texans, and now he's with the Patriots. And he's the guy that starts the fire and acts shocked when people say, why is there a fire? It looks like you started the fire. I didn't start the fire. I don't want to talk about that. He's like, oh, shucks. Well, golly, gee whiz. Man, oh, man. Why is everything so hard? Why are you asking me about this? What's wrong with you, right? I don't know, because it's all over the social media. It's your people are the ones putting it out there. Come on. You're the one that's trending on all the social media. You're trending more. He's actually trended more on TikTok than he has played in NFL games recently. So anyway, our last thing. So we now have arrived at the part of the offseason. We've got about a month and a couple of days to go before training camp. So we're near the finish line, and then it gets really boring during training camp. All we get is injuries, and then we get some exhibition games. Nobody cares about that. And then some bad early season NFL. But we're close to training camp. We're close to training camp. And so the Bengals and the Steelers are without Trey Hendrickson and T.J. Watt, the top defensive players on those two respective teams. Now, both players are entering the contract season. So we know what that means, right? They're hopping mad. They're spitting mad. I need the money. I want the money. Give me the money. So there are questions about whether or not either one of them will get the money. We know right now what's going. We know that they're both of them making waves by not showing up to OTAs. So there are other players also that are doing this, but we're going to, for this portion of the Maller monologue, we're going to focus on these two guys. Trey Hendrickson in the land of Justin in Cincinnati, and then T.J. Watt in the land of Pete in Pittsburgh. All right, so the question, you've got Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati, Trey Hendrickson, and T.J. Watt in Pittsburgh, who are skipping the mandatory OTAs. So the question is, how do you see this working out? All right, so they're turning towards the model of short-term pain for long-term gain. Now, both Hendrickson and Watt are going to be fined. If they miss the entire OTA period, they're going to be fined $104,000. And it is interesting to note that the disgruntled Buffalo Bills running back, who also wants a new contract, he showed up to OTAs and he said, listen, I want my money, which is thumbs up. I mean, yeah, you don't leave money on the table. $100,000, that is a big chunk of change, even if you're making millions. So for them, though, for Hendrickson and Watt, they're like, wow, this is a drop in the bucket and all that stuff. It's generating its own antibodies because in their mind, right, if you read my New York Times bestseller, A Complete Idiot's Guide to Public Contract Squabbles, that's my book there, Complete Idiot's Guide to Public Contract Squabbles, unless I just made that up. But the outline is you ghost the team. You normally unfollow the team on social media. You avoid the team. You're dodging the team like dodging a child support subpoena, right? You're just trying to avoid it at all costs and all that stuff. And it's choreographed chaos. You toss out some bombs out there on social media occasionally. The old-fashioned manufactured drama-o-rama, where you got a few social media posts, go on the gram there and say, I know my worth. I know what I'm worth. And then you get, at that point, you've deputized and weputized, you put together a group of fanboys and bots, the knuckle-dragging sports fan, and they're the ones that apply the pressure. Like, they're the ones that put the pressure on the team. And whatever it takes to get the bigger bag, it's all about the bag. All about the bag. Skipping OTAs, public protest that does not involve looting, shocking, trying to get free stuff. Go figure. It can be done. It's kind of like that celebrity chef Emerald back in the day. Bam! Kick it up a couple of notches. Now, of the two, the smart money and the overwhelming favor is that T.J. Watt will get the money. They'll hammer things out. The Steelers will make good. They'll give him some money. And Trey Hendrickson will be traded to the Lions or the Rams or somewhere else, but he will not be in Cincinnati. Like, the Bengals just don't. They don't do it. The fact that they had to pay 2 wide receivers a ton of money, there's a bunch of executives in Cincinnati who are still seeing therapists because of that. All right.